Constantly shifting through the time-space continuum, Metron's three disciples observe the universe from the Mobius Couch.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much Mobius Couch, a time-space interdimensional vehicle from which your hosts are the nation's #1 Westminster Kennel Club dog show fan cast.
Yes, let's
Everybody,
get into it.
Those dogs are lovely and furry, and so are your hosts. Today, of course, we're focused on the brand new for 2026 Flyball event, which, of course, you'd think would favor sporting breeds. But one thing about these little pups we know is they will surprise you.
Yeah, they
Joe,
will.
Pat, how are you doing?
They jump high. They jump so high.
How are you doing?
So
I'm doing just fine.
Yeah.
I'm looking really forward to the working group class.
Yes. Yes. The working group. Wait a minute.
Working dogs? Yeah.
Wait a minute. No, I know working groups are working dogs, but something's weird.
I don't know what part I like the best other than this. This just trotting around and the little mops are just moving around on a string. Those are my favorites.
So y'all don't let me interrupt you. Keep talking about the dogs, but I feel like I'm looking at the Mobius Couch dials. This is an interdimensional vehicle, and I think maybe boop boop. Maybe we're in the wrong dimension here. Beep boop beep boop beep boop boop boop. The Mobius Couch, where we talk about comic books.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what
Comics.
I got it wrong.
I had forgotten.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're now in the right dimension where your three hosts are talking about comic books, and I'm Alessandro, and of course, joining me as usual is Patrick.
Hello, this is Patrick. Hi, guys. How's everyone doing? This is my radio voice.
We're working out.
A little bit more sultry.
Okay.
We work on.
Okay, you're not going to do a 30s radio voice.
No. Gonna really work on enunciating. I'm gonna enunciate.
Okay. That's a good goal to have.
Because when the social media apps do our auto captions, they get y'all's dialogue like 100% right every time, and my dialogue, it just makes shit up like ChatGPT. Because I'm not talking clearly.
It's because you.
Anyways,
because you're doing your Bane impression every episode.
It is.
I thought was weird, by the way.
Yeah. And we're also joined by Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hello. This is my normal voice. I don't do a radio voice.
How's your radio voice coming along? Are you practicing at all?
It's pretty good. It's more along the lines of an SNL announcer. You know, like.
Oh. Live from Cincinnati. Will Ferrell. Okay.
Yeah. It's a little warble at the end. Yeah, you gotta Ferrell. You gotta do that.
There you go. Okay. Well, everybody, today you got a special treat. We're in episode 2 of our Marvel. What do we call this whole thing? The Marvel of 30 years
trilogy?
ago. Yeah, the 30 years ago Marvel event series. Last episode, it wasn't last week, I guess, but last episode we did Avengers Disassembled. So if you haven't heard that episode, you might want to go check that out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We also have videos up on YouTube. So please do that and maybe like and subscribe if you like.
Yeah, if you're watching this YouTube video, make a comment and hit the thumbs up.
Yeah.
You know?
But so right off of that Avengers Disassembled, which led right into another major crossover, which we're talking about today, which is, of course, House of M. M standing for Magneto.
Or Maximoff.
Magneto. Or is it House of Maximus?
They say House of Magnus.
Well, House of Magnus.
Many
House
times.
of Magnus.
I know, but it's the Scarlet Witch's fucking crown.
It is
helmet combined, so it could be either. It
could be either one. Could be both. Could be either both, none of them, or none of them, because this is an altered reality. Could be nothing, or both. But we're talking about that today. This is, of course, an 8-issue. You heard that right. 8-issue crossover event from 2005. This was about a year. So Avengers Disassembled was 2004. So I think about a year before, and then they did House of M right after in 2005. This was peak There's 8 crossover issues, plus every mainline series has their own tie-in issues, so you have to buy 300 comics to get the full story. This was peak that. This was
Actually,
Marvel was all into that.
This was unlike Secret Invasion that we covered. This was like the tie-ins were pretty much about those characters, and you pretty much got the main story in the main books. Not like Secret Invasion where you literally had to read every single tie-in to understand,
right?
Like what the fuck was going on.
This was peak tie-in where the main story is still the main book, and then if you want to see what Spider-Man really went through, you could just read Spider-Man House of M.
So yeah, the only weird wrinkle to that though is that in the first 6 issues nothing happens, and there's really just 2 issues of events at the end.
I don't think so.
So why we had to go through 6 issues of nothing is we'll get into.
I don't think so.
We'll get into that. But of course the creative team is we talked about the notorious BMB, Brian Michael Bendis. Marvel brought him on right before Avengers Disassembled from Image to kind of revamp, their line and be kind of writer / not editor-in-chief's the wrong word, but kind of like spiritual editor to the line.
Mm-hmm.
Friend
Bob
of the
Liefeld
podcast
is real upset about that. Apparently, he doesn't like Bendis at all, based on his social media posts. So
okay,
yeah.
Rob Liefeld getting
Rob
salty on a lot of social media lately. He's been clapping back, on a lot of hate.
Not upset at all about making millions of dollars from Deadpool.
Yeah, Rob Liefeld, most famous, of course, for designing Elon Musk's real life body.
Yes.
If you don't know what I mean, just Google that, and it will make sense. Okay.
I wish
so
I
back
had
to House
to
of
put
M.
up for that.
So BMB, of course, wrote it. A friend of the podcast, because we've done Olivier Coipel multiple times, did the art. And also the cover arts of all the issues, I think, are Ribbich, right? Yeah, Ribbich. Yeah. So that was kind of nice to see because the covers are
and
great.
that's when it just dawned on me that's how far back I had seen his art, and I went, oh. And I think back then I was like, oh man, I love Coipel, but it would be really cool to see a book completely drawn by this cover artist, which we didn't get for a very, very long time.
So I love both these artists, but they're
both fantastic.
Every Ribbich thing we've done, he is just so good.
Fun.
He's really good. And again, I don't know if it's him or writers seek him out, but he's really good at doing his art on stories where his art is perfect for them. I know that doesn't make sense, but
I know what you mean. No,
he really pairs up with the right writers and the right arcs, where his kind of like stylized, grandiose art.
Maybe we should read his art Secret looks Wars like a canvas, whatever Doomsday is based on. When we towards the end of the year when the movie comes out or something.
But so I just wanted to give him a quick shout out for the covers because that was cool.
Yeah,
but
they're beautiful. They're beautifully drawn and painted.
Yeah, but the main artist is Coipel, and I think the color is who did the colors to this?
Townsend.
I was not
Townsend.
Townsend inked.
Tim Townsend.
Colorist is Frank D'Armata.
Frank D'Armata did the colors, but that's the main artistic team. Okay, so we usually do overall takes before we get right in, right? Let me not go for. Let someone else talk for a minute.
So yeah, I mean it's I agree with Al's point.
Well, you called it a trip down memory lane earlier, so you want to start that?
Oh, well, this was kind of trip down memory lane. This was
it's any old comic, I guess, but
New Avengers had just been out. New Avengers I was pretty into, and this is right in the middle of that storyline, so that very nostalgic. I do like looking at this image you got on the screen right now. Like, I really preferred this version of Carol Danvers to when she just kind of got upgraded to Captain Marvel. I really liked the kind of, she had really strong powers, but like her confidence was shaky, and she didn't really feel like she was a full-fledged. So there was things like that. This time period just I really liked. To Al's point, this is like not a lot was happening for like the first 6 issues or so. It's an enjoyable read, and it really changed the status quo. And there was a big shift at the end that changed, the trajectory of Marvel Comics for a while with the X-Men. But Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It has such a, I don't know. It's not the greatest thing I've ever read. It did feel like a crossover event. It was just a lot of action, and there's some good character beats. Overall, I wasn't like super stoked while reading it. It did remind me how much I fucking hate Captain America. The more I reread about Captain America, I'm like, I fucking hate this guy. I fucking hate this dude.
Exactly the same. The more
I think the
comics we
MCU
do-
has colored Captain America in a positive way into
Chris
like
Evans,
this, like, wow, what a
that
great
version.
character this character can be when done well.
But in comics, he's never
good stuff. Yeah, there's some good runs in Captain America. I think that.
Yeah.
But like usually in a team book, they're always
I like
jam
Winter
him down your
Soldier.
throat.
Did was good.
Yeah, but he just. But I agree with you. Chris Evans, Captain America, MCU Captain America is
like
probably
colors
the
your
best
memory
version of that character. Yeah. And the other thing to keep in mind when you're reading this is that Jessica Drew is fucking the Skrull Queen this entire time. So that was going to throw me off when I was reading it. But,
Yes.
Yeah.
This whole time.
Overall take, it's a big staple in the Marvel universe. They reference it a lot if you're a new comic book person that is looking into what happened back then, but it's a lot of filler. It could have been a five issue storyline. I would think would be sufficient.
Okay.
So yeah, it was fine. The art,
overall,
I like Coipel's art, but honestly, weirdly, I like really love his art from Legion.
Yeah,
like, I liked Scratchy.
Peak, like everyone,
good old
everyone
Scratchy.
kept getting squatter. Like everyone squats that like they're rather.
No, but I agree. 80s or early 90s Scratchy Coipel I sort of like more than early 2000s mainstream.
I mean, I do still love it in this book, but it's still like I'm still like, oh yeah, but I love Legion. Legion lost a little bit better.
There was something about the scratchiness that kind of gave it more of a flair, I think, to like, you know. You can still tell it's Coipel. It's just so polished that I almost feel like there was a little bit something. It kind of took away a little bit for me compared to Legion Lost and Legion of the Damned. Anyways,
okay,
that's my overall take.
All right. Overall, I love the storyline, but I think rereading it, it was like a little empty in the middle in terms of like ramping up, but I feel like they were trying to show you the world that they were all living in at the time. So like I kind of enjoyed all that. So like none of that bothered me, I guess. I think of it as like the first issue is kind of a prologue and the last issue is kind of an epilogue. So it's kind of a 6-issue story arc to me. You know, like it's just like that's after and this is before, and then House of M really exists in the 6 issues in the middle. But that's why I don't feel like it dragged. So I was just like, I was like, oh yeah, set up. And now the event happens, and then there's the breadth of time you live with that event, and then at the end of 7 it's over, and then you have a full issue after that of like it's basically an epilogue, or the ramifications of it, I guess. But I don't know. I really I dig alternate storylines or timelines kind of stories, so it's immediately fun to me. So I'm just like, oh, what are they all doing? So like I enjoy that stuff. So I mean, I can get how that would be like. I don't know. That's not the best. But Olivier Coipel's art, fantastic throughout, I think. There was some not scratchy moments, but there's a lot of chips flying through the air, like Chris Bachalo style. But he can get messy in this a little bit. Just it's more refined. Like he's been doing it better. I like some of the characters they focused on was interesting in this. That not just being Wolverine, but weirdly they do focus on Wolverine, but not just Wolverine.
Yeah, this was like peak Wolverine when Wolverine was in fucking every book.
Yeah, because this was the Bryan Singer X-Men's were big, and so Wolverine was just in everything. Yeah, I
kind of enjoyed it. They don't often really mix the X-Men with the Avengers. Like that hadn't really happened in.
Well, at that point, they didn't do it.
Yeah, this was kind of so that's sort of fun too. Like they always sort of existed in their own places, but since it's a mutant and it's Wanda, they were both dealing with her, and I think that was kind of made it what I like most about this storyline, probably. Because in terms of a crossover event, you actually get to see, a lot of X-Men characters fighting with a lot of Avengers characters, include like down to the street level, like Luke Cage and stuff, and like up to like Captain America or Storm or Spider Woman, who's not a Skrull. Anyway, yeah, I overall I like it, but we can get into the details.
Okay, I'll keep this short because I don't have a lot to say that sort of you two haven't said, in certain points. So from a nostalgia perspective, this was the peak of when I was reading comics. I was reading this month to month as it came out, so I have fond memories of kind of this era. Rereading it now, I didn't enjoy this a lot. Now we'll get into more specifics when we get there. Issue 7, I thought was spectacular. I thought the way they kind of bring everything to a head and talk about the dynamics between Wanda, Pietro, and Magneto, it was like top notch. That was so good. But unfortunately, issues 1 through 6, nothing really happens. And issue 8 is denouement, it's a little conclusion. So it just, as a whole crossover event, it left me a little bit wanting. I also, back to the point about the tie-ins with the specific titles and not, if all you read is this, you sort of get the main story, but you also don't really get to see what the House of M world is, because all you get to see is just like Wolverine in the sewers for 3 issues, and it just kind of glosses over setting up like what the world is actually like, what the House of Magnus is doing. All of that, you do get some, because at the time I was reading House of M Iron Man, House of M Spider-Man, all those side issues, and so that fleshes out the kind of new status quo better. But if all you're reading is the mainline event, I feel like it just feels really shallow and just like it's a bunch of people talking in a room, and you don't really get to live that alternate reality like you do in, let's say, Age of Apocalypse or something like that. So that's my biggest complaint about it. But it does do some things well. Some of the characters have good beats. Like I mentioned, issue 7 was great. I think that was really cool. But overall, I don't know. I didn't think it aged so well for me overall. And I think some of it too is just back to a comment we made about Avengers Disassembled. But this is again like ground zero for Brian Michael Bendis doing too much. And I kind of felt that in this. Like some of the writing felt a little bit lazy. Some of the issues felt lazy. I just think Marvel told him like milk 8 months out of this, and he did his best. But there's like not much story.
The art above the. Like I can almost tolerate bad writing when the art is good. You know what I mean? Like, which is the opposite of Disassembled, because I felt like Finch was like kind of peak weird Finch in that story arc.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I don't know. Like he's not selling the emotions. Like there's a lot of beats in here where Coipel takes the time to show someone like have an emotional face and cry or something, and then move on like before. So I don't know. Maybe it's the art that sold it for me. And that's
some of the facial expressions are kind of horrifying, like in a good way, but like it's
but basically, like what I think would have maybe been more interesting is have the Wolverine wake up moment happen in issue 4. Like do 3 issues of just seeing all these characters live in that world. I know we have the tie-ins for that, but for the people who just want to read a story in a book, like maybe do an exposition 3 or 4 issues of the House of M world, and then Wolverine wakes up with like, oh my God, I'm Wolverine.
Okay.
And I'm the main character now.
I don't think I would have done this that differently. Like you mentioned Age of Apocalypse, and like the way that's set up is like X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Excalibur, Gambit had his own comic, I think. Weapon X was a comic. Like unless you're reading all of that.
No, I get that that's definitely
that month.
Yeah,
like,
no, I get that
that's
definitely the standard, and there's a reason for that because Marvel wants you to buy 12 issues instead of 1.
But I guess what I'm saying is like if you want to live, that's why I liked this though, because like if you don't want to live in that world, you just get the story, and if you do want to live in that world, you can read Spider-Man or Iron Man.
I just felt like the story was I feel like if I were just a new reader today who bought a trade paperback House of M, I would be a little let down by what I'm, I would just kind of say like, okay, well I didn't really get to live in this alternate reality very long. And
within the main story, sure.
Yeah, within the main story. Right. Okay. Well, but I think that's good for overall takes. Let's get into Do we
Issue
want to
one.
do? Well, do we want to go because these are 8 issues? Do we want to do issue by issue or more
We'll go
of a?
fast through them.
Yeah,
We'll go
issue
fast.
1, issue 7, and issue 8 are my favorite issues.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, issue
I can
1 we don't
spend some
even
time in
really
issue
get.
one.
Yeah, issue 1 we don't even really get into House of M. It's like a preamble.
Well, yeah, it leads up
yeah.
to it. But I like the X-Men coming to Avengers Tower for like an official meeting. I like Wonder Man and oh my god, where's my brain?
Carol.
Warbird, they're calling her right now.
Yeah,
I think
Miss Marvel. She goes back to Miss Marvel in this issue. I think
after
she was.
Oh, in this. Okay, all right.
When they go into the tower,
Carol's there, and I just like them walking up, and they're like, "Why can't we just fly up to the building?" And they're like, "They're trying not to make it a thing." And I was like, "That's kind of fun."
I do. So one point I want to make from the very beginning because it's how this issue starts.
Yeah.
So
Wanda's losing it.
So people who have listened to the Mobius Couch before know that we have been unkind to Wanda. And I think there's reason, because if someone's a war criminal, they're a war criminal. You know, I get that there's trauma, but if they're terrible, they're terrible. However, I will say that rereading this now, I had a much more empathetic take to Wanda that I don't think really landed for me when I read this back in 2005.
I agree, yes.
And I think maybe it was because it was like a year after Avengers Disassembled, where my memory of that was, well, she caused the problem, she's evil. And then she also caused this, and she's evil. But rereading these now, especially the way this issue starts with her memories of her children being born, and I know I joke a lot about her invented children.
Put it back, Wanda. It's not real. You don't have any children. Yeah. I'm Xavier. Listen.
But I do. But in this run specifically, you really get this feeling of how she's just being batted around by powerful. Like Xavier tells her, "Put that away. Do this. Do that." Strange tells her, "You can't do this. This is irresponsible. You can't do that." Her own father tells her, "Don't do this, don't do that." So reading it this time around, I really get the feeling of how she's an all-powerful being who's not allowed to be that because she's just being batted around from cage to cage from these older men who just know better because of whatever. And I felt much more empathy to her situation in this read through. And especially in the first few pages of this issue really highlight that of it. You know, she's reliving these happy memories for her. And I get that they're invented children and all that stuff, but like these are happy memories to a broken person. And Xavier's just like, now put those away. Don't do that. No.
He's trying to stop her from altering reality again.
I understand that, but he comes off as so unkind.
Oh no, yeah, he's super. I think
her situation.
The point, though. Like if he let her indulge in it at all, it would be House of M, which is what happens. You know what I mean? Like they barely even get that far. You know,
I guess that's fair,
all it takes is a certain person who shall be revealed later, whispering in her ear, going like, "Why don't we just do this? What about that?"
That's fair, but I also she continually makes comments at the beginning and at the end of like, "Oh, I killed them. I killed my husband. I did the." I feel like she is trying to work through grief. And people aren't letting her. They're just not and part of grief is remembering the good times.
Sure, but when your memories can alter reality.
I understand that like technical point that she can alter I get that. But I still feel like what she's really trying to do is just work through this grief. And she is not being allowed to do that because of her mutant abilities.
Yeah, I agree. I just figured out a way to like lock her in a box and let her live out her grief. I think they would have, because I feel like that's their decision.
I'm on the same page as Al. Like I've hated this woman for years, decades, I guess. And rereading it, it was kind of like, yeah, she's kind of cursed with.
You're gonna have to try pretty hard to convince me of this. Otherwise,
she literally had kids, and then she found out her kids,
but she didn't.
Weren't real. I know, but like she thought.
I know. Real, but to her, they're real.
Yeah.
Like, and then they're gone, and then you erase them from her mind, and then she remembers.
You know what? It's like that. It's like that dumb like thought experiment where like you get knocked in the head and you wake up and you're 20, and like depending on the person you might be like, oh shit, I get to do all this again. But like if you're my age, that is. But to me I'd be like, oh no, my kids, my children. Like I'd freak the fuck out, you know. But I can't recreate. How do I recreate that? I can't recreate that. I'd freak out.
So sort of how Wally West freaked out and murdered.
Because his family was written out of existence by
in main continuity. That's kind of how he did that. But we're not talking about DC. Okay, so back to House of M. We get kind of
one quick art note about Olivier Coipel's art when she has the baby that when she says
they're
no,
demon children.
Yeah, well, you can tell like the reality is kind of melting away, maybe because even Doctor Strange in the background, his face is messed up. But man, that baby's facial expression is horrifying.
Also, there's tears streaming down her face, like and as it goes on, Xavier's like sweating, just trying to make reality go back to normal. Like he's just like, oh no, I can't hold this anymore. Like there's some real like struggle just in facial expressions.
Yeah, Xavier is. Awesome. We don't know how many sessions there's been, so maybe he has tried to be kinder before.
Maybe,
and maybe he's been losing patience. Yeah, I get. But although we do know that,
or losing ability to rein it in, less than patience.
But it's also
I think
Charles
he's just struggling.
So,
it's also Xavier, and no offense to everyone that likes that character for some fucking reason, but he's worse than Wanda.
he's worse. Yeah. My first note of this issue is Charles is an asshole. That's my first note.
I mean,
when she says "but my children" and she's holding them to her breast, and then he goes, "Never existed." Then the next panel,
and his little
the kids are melting
when he says it.
The kids' bodies are melting through her hand.
Oh god, that's so
body.
He's the worst. Also, we get speaking of art, we get a good look.
And then she's like, I killed them. I killed the Avengers. I killed my husband. Yeah,
we get a good look at kind of like midlife crisis / divorced dad Magneto, kind of just in PJs.
Yeah, he's just living in Genosha, depressed as fuck that everyone died. Like he's in a rough spot right now, and also his daughter's going crazy. So
Well, he's also, and I know Magneto post this has become a real kind of Magneto was right, like a good character revival of he's not so much a villain, but whatever. But this version of Magneto, he's a bit of Charles. She's the grown woman, blah blah blah. Like you traumatized her, bro.
I know, man.
Like
that's
you.
Oh well, yeah, 100%.
So it's kind
terrible father,
bad dad.
Yeah, he's a terrible father. But I mean, I don't know. All I can say to that is it not okay for him to come back around at some point and be like, "Oh, I was fucked up. I'm sorry," which he's doing. But it's like, does it make it okay? No, but like he's trying, I guess. I don't feel like he's failing her in this moment. I just feel like he doesn't know what to do, and also he's recognizing all the shit he's done to her.
He does He does a little bit of reference. He says, I was focused on my war against humanity and kind of
I was a fucking shitty dad, and now that she needs me, I can't do anything.
Yeah,
I feel
he makes some reference to it. Having said that, he still just flies away while he lets Charles brain fuck her into a coma or whatever.
He's a bad dad.
He can't do anything.
He's still not a very good dad in this storyline. He fucking kills Pietro without hesitation. He throws a giant piece of metal at the kid's face.
Yeah, he does murder him.
That's your son.
He does murder him.
You murdered him. And anyways, I did like a little beat because Xavier is very sassy here. Magneto goes, "How did it go? I heard the screaming." And Xavier has a tissue up to his nose, and he pulls the tissue away, like reveal, like he doesn't say anything. He just shows his bloody nose. Like, how do you think it went, Eric? Terrible. Look at the blood, Eric. Look what you did to me. Where have you been?
I mean, Xavier does say we can't keep drugging her and psychically putting her to sleep. It's inhumane. Like he just goes, I don't know what to do anymore. I mean, like I feel like. As much as I hate Xavier, I can't stand that I'm playing devil's advocate for him. But it does seem like he's at his wits. He's at the end of his rope. He doesn't know what else to do. Like, it's not him going like, this is how I've been treating her the whole time. I didn't get that impression. I got the impression that he was like, oh my God, I can't keep this at bay anymore. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, she's gonna snap her fingers and I won't even be here anymore, kind of thing. Like, I think he's just... he does feel genuinely worried about everyone else. Like it's not that he doesn't care about Wanda, it's that he recognizes the danger of her and can't do anything about it, and he's freaking out.
Sure, he's just
still a piece of crap.
He's awful. Okay, and so but that's Genosha. Otherwise, in New York City, the Avengers and X-Men are going to meet to talk about Wanda.
Mhm.
Art note I want to mention. So first of all, Astonishing X-Men is just lit. That's peak. So it's good to see that team.
Yeah, it was
However,
really fun.
However, Flesh, Cyclops, and costume, no thank you.
Flesh Colossus.
Colossus, sorry.
That's
Colossus,
old school,
yes.
man. That at
I
least they
don't
didn't
like that.
put blue pants on him inexplicably. That
I
disappear when he
don't
turns
I
into
don't
metal.
like that. Also,
Look,
we've
in
talked about it
person, he'd look
before.
great.
And we've talked about it before, but Beast's costume that just comes up to his
It's
tits
so stupid, man.
is so
I don't
weird.
You don't
get
like
it.
you don't like the low waisted vest he's wearing?
It's so
Is it just
weird.
like is there just like really strong
Is it
elastic
high waisted
in
pants or
the-
low waisted vest?
It's so weird. It's just they
Is
come
it
up
sleeve?
to like under his
is it
armpit.
collarless vest or is it?
I don't know what that is. It's just so weird.
It's
Also,
just
he's
a
got
big
the-
X belt.
He's got the separate armbands. Like he puts that
Yeah,
singlet,
why?
half singlet on. He's like, ah, yes, let me put these rubber armbands on as well.
You know
I'm
what would have
ready
been
to
good?
go.
What's the new X-Men version of Wolverine when he's running? You know when he's scrambling around on the ground and just has the fin tank top on.
fin tank
Like you should wear that.
Yeah.
Just wear that.
Yeah.
I think those were suspenders, maybe.
And then
Were they?
and then
No, he has a really thin tank top on back then.
and then the next
I think
panel.
it's all one piece. I think it's all one piece.
Sorry. Al.
No, but so the next panel after this is the Avengers hero shot, and they're all sitting. So Captain America's sitting like a substitute teacher with his knee on the chair.
He's about to talk down to everyone in the room.
Yeah.
Also, this is some of my favorite. Just aside, real fast. This is some of my favorite Iron Man armor. I love this armor.
It is good. It is a good.
I don't know why. It's just I love this armor. Anyway.
But everyone and like Carol's got her hip cocked out. Luke Cage has the chair flipped around.
Look at Carol in the 2000s like bootleg flared pants and like and they're running low, but she's got the costume underneath. It's just fucking.
It's so weird.
It's
and then
great
Spider-Man
from top to bottom.
Spider-Man's got one foot on the chair. Janet the Wasp is like weirdly caressing her neck. It's just a strange pose all around.
I kind of like that Spider-Man's just sitting in a chair. I like every time they do a scene like this, he's always hanging upside down from the ceiling. I'm like, is he actually comfortable like that? Like, I know it's Spider-Man and you need to put somebody in the frame somewhere, but like, can you just put him in a chair for once? I thought it was
they should put him on the ceiling and have him say
Luke Cage looks super Luke Cage and normal. I think it's fine.
Very
I don't know,
AC
the whole
Slater.
Yeah, it is AC
and
Slater
I like
with the chair
I like the Sentry because on the iPad you can really zoom in and his facial.
Oh yeah,
expression
he's just
fucking crazy. He's like, hey guys, I'm not also a massive threat.
I'm totally gonna be fine in the next hour. Anyway, all right. There's a quick cut back to like Pietro assumes, and rightfully so, but they don't decide that in genuality. They do not just say, let's go kill her. You know, like he just assumes that that's what they're ultimately going to decide.
Yeah, and the problem is when you assume, you make an ass out of you.
Yeah, and then someone bends reality. Oh, and then we're fucked.
But side note, they did a psychological experiment years ago where they had this blind test where people weren't seeing each other and they had little buttons to shock the person across from them, right?
Yes.
And it was like light shock to heavy shock. And basically they ran this experiment and everybody would start light and then they'd get shocked and go heavier, and then they'd get shocked and go heavier. And, you know, kind of you could like select how heavy based on the shock you received. And basically after the experiment, they interviewed everybody and everybody said like, well, I upped the intensity because I was shocked harder, right? Like the person shocked me at a 3, so I shocked them at a 4 kind of thing. But the reality is nobody was shocked harder. Everybody was always shocked at the lowest setting. They just interpreted it as being shocked harder than they were being shocked. So our psychology is always like we index towards like, oh, I'm being attacked or I'm in danger or the worst case is happening. But that isn't always true. And that is what Pietro is doing right here. He assumes the level 5 shock is coming when really the level 1 shock is on the way.
I mean, they were really just going to like see if
that's all it was.
Figure it out.
That's all it was.
There was no like, let's hunt them down and take her out. Like it was just like, let's see if we can figure this out. Let's go talk to her.
But Pietro assumed and responded with a number 5 shock when that's not what was coming as well. You know, so he was disproportionately responding. to what wasn't coming his way. Classic.
I don't know
classic
why.
human
I don't know why I'm
response.
making this a reveal. Petro's the one who fucks everything up.
Oh,
I feel
spoiler
like that
alert.
was obvious. I feel like that was obvious.
It's not that obvious because
first
it's set
issue.
up in this scene where she goes, or I'm sorry, Magneto's very feminine. He goes, "What would you have me do?" And then Petro just crumples on the ground, and then he's crying. Like, you know, like the way that scene ends is kind of like Magneto makes a decision, you know, like based on the panels. It's not like Petro's just like, "Oh, I'm giving up," and he cries on the ground, basically. And Magneto's like very upset and looks at his daughter, and then his head hangs and it's all in shadow. And then like
I
you know,
Pietro from this.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty.
The
I
thing
would
that
say-
tipped it off.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, just the thing that really tips it off is in the successive issues, all of the memory restored people focus on we have to stop Magneto. He did this. He's the cause. We have to stop it.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's what really telegraphed the twist of like, well, obviously
Right,
it's
right,
not going to
right.
be Magneto. Who's,
So the
you know,
difference there
in
is that
charge.
I don't think I thought it was Petro or Magneto. I thought it was just Wanda doing
Just
it.
Wanda, yeah.
And then as they did wake up and kept blaming Magneto, I was like, why are they blaming Magneto? Like, he's just doing what all of them are doing, which is living their best lives, you know, kind of thing. So I'm like, why do you automatically assume it's Magneto that did it? I was so weird. Like, where is this animosity towards him coming from? Like,
Well, I think this is again, this is
he's the supervillain, and I don't
but
know.
also this is 2005, and now, you know, from 2005 to now, Magneto has really been rehabilitated.
No, but
as
like
a
even
character.
in that moment, I was like, Wanda's the crazy one, you know, kind of thing. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I think that's because that's informed from the past 20 years of comics where you have a
Mhm.
much more accepting view of Magneto's philosophy and who he is.
Again, still no. I mean,
still-
in that
yes,
moment, at that
I-
time, I did not read this as like Magneto was the bad guy. I did not
never-
assume
Okay,
Magneto was
sure.
the bad guy. I guess. is what
Sure,
I'm saying.
sure.
Let's linger on this though, because these are the interactions between Magneto and Wanda and Pietro are kind of my favorite in the book because
Mhm.
you know Pietro's, I think, low key scared of Magneto, so he really stands up to.
I think it's high key.
High key, yeah.
high key. Yeah. Is he? No, I don't think he would like admit it though, right? Pietro wouldn't be like, "I'm terrified of my."
Oh
dad."
yeah, I guess
And then,
not.
you
I mean,
know,
I think it's just written all over his.
I
actions,
think
the
it's
way
a
he
bit of
speaks.
dramatic irony where like every reader knows, right?
I
that he's-
don't think
Mhm.
yeah.
Pietro, and if you're a bigger comic book nerd than me and know back issues of Brotherhood of Evil Mutants from the 1960s, but I don't think Pietro would typically yell at Magneto like this. Like, he's so upset that he says they're going to kill her, and then he starts screaming so fast that Magneto can't. He's like, Pietro, no one can understand you when you talk that fast. And I do like Joe, what would you have me do? That's like one of my favorite, most memorable lines from this is Pietro's like, they're going to kill her. What would you have me do? And he's like, they're gonna kill her. And he's like, what would you have me do? Like,
Yeah, he's like,
what
what
do you
am I
want us
supposed
to
to
do?
do about that?
Like,
Yeah.
what do we do? Like,
Well, Patrick, to your point, a quick art note. I love this panel of Pietro just talking fast, which is just a blur, you know,
Yeah.
because he
Yes,
is super speed
that is
and just,
great.
you can just imagine
What is
him
it?
yelling
No one
and
can
arguing
hear you when you
at-
yell that fast. He
yeah,
says.
the speed of
It's
light
fantastic.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's great.
well, there was an
Oh, well,
issue
he's
of
no
X
Wally
Factor
West. He
that
can't
kind of
just speed of light.
explains that. Well, it kind of explains that Quicksilver is almost always in that heightened state of speed where everything's moving in slow motion, and that's why he's such a prick and so impatient because everything is moving like Magneto talking. His brain is
God,
processing
yeah.
his words
He's like,
faster
oh my
than
god,
so
I already
everything's
know what you're
really-
gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I live my
So for
normal
him to
life
like be
that.
reeling
It'd
in,
be hell on
yeah.
earth.
him to be reeling in like his emotions and having to slow down to talk. It's
Mhm.
very interesting. I just like the dynamics between these three characters. And I really fucking hate, like, total side note, I hate the MCU synergy bullshit with fucking Fox and fucking Marvel
yeah.
and Disney, and because Wanda and Pietro are no longer canonically Magneto's kids.
Or just
they aren't
anything.
because they're the high evolutionary, like,
Oh,
messenger
because in the
beings.
MCU they're
Because
not.
in the
so,
MCU
okay, yeah.
because like Fox had control of the X-Men and Disney
Yeah.
had control of the Avengers, and they were like fighting. So then
Hopefully something
Disney-
good comes out of that
Disney
when
made-
reality
yeah.
folds together and there's a
Fucking hate
new
it.
X-Men.
ruined it. It ruined
Yeah.
everything about the storyline for me. Knowing that.
Well, Patrick, going back to that holds true to this comic anyway, because again, Wolverine's the main character because Wolverine was popular in film, and therefore he gets to be
Well, he
in
was always
every
kind of popular,
Marvel
though.
property.
Even like
Yeah,
going
but he
back to
wasn't in
animated
every
series,
Marvel
Yeah,
property
that's
like he
true.
was in the early 2000s.
He was
in
literally
every
in,
Avengers
like,
team.
every fucking book in this period of time.
By the way, Al, you mentioned that Emma is like awesome in all new X-Men. Is that what you said?
Astonishing.
What you said? Astonishing. That's right.
Astonishing.
But like, man, she's so good in this.
She's great. Oh,
I
like how
almost every line that comes out of Emma's mouth, I'm just like, listen to everyone. Listen to Emma. Listen to Emma the whole time.
She's great. Opposite reaction to he's not a big part of this, but everything Captain America says just makes me go like, what a prick this dude is.
Put her down. I won't even entertain the thought. Maybe entertain the thought so we can realize that's the bad.
Well, it's also like, why did you invite the X-Men here? Like, if you're not going to listen to what they're saying,
there's always a way, and Wolverine's like, not always, and he's like, always. I'm Captain America, and I'm like, all right,
always. 7 issues later, no mutants exist anymore.
Yeah, he got what he wanted. That
way to go, Steve.
That racist son of a bitch.
Okay, but so if we don't have much to say here, when they go to
Genosha, I don't. Yeah,
I want to point out when they're flying in, I love Carol just kind of carrying Emma like that, and how Iron Man is flying Cyclops, just holding onto his hands like cliffhanger
sick ass Iron Man armor. But yeah, I love that.
This is fun.
Just getting to see the Avengers with the X-Men is fun. That's how that's a cool panel.
I mean, just going backwards for 1 second, I just do want to say Emma raises many good points about if the public found out that Wanda, a mutant, killed the Avengers.
Yeah,
that would fucking destroy me. Like,
it would be bad.
I enjoy her opinion so much because she's like, it's not about us, it's not about her, it's not about it's about mutant kind. You fucking assholes. Like that. Yeah. Like I'm concerned about all the mutants out there that are going to be fucking tortured and murdered in alleyways because they all find out that a mutant fucked with everybody and killed some Avengers.
Right.
Like,
and honestly, Spider-Man, typically like him and everything, but he makes the point. He's like, "Oh, so if my powers go out of control," I'm like, "When your powers go out of control, you turn into a giant man spider. When Wanda's powers go out of control, everyone dies and reality's rewritten." It's like you're not comparing the same.
I like Emma's comment. So she says, "We X-Men have dedicated our lives to dealing with mutant threats." And then Kitty says, "Threats to mutants, not mutants." And then Emma just says, "Well, we do both."
We do.
They do. They fight evil. They fight evil mutants.
Yeah, it's true.
All the time.
Yeah. There's a brief
Emma used to be an evil mutant.
Yeah, with Cyclops and Xavier, and Cyclops says, "Professor, I can't believe you would even entertain this." And he's like, "Scott," and the panel again. Coipel's art is spectacular, but it's from Cyclops' perspective, and he's looking down. But Xavier's looking up and looks horrified, and just goes, "Scott, I don't know what to do." It's not like he's like. You can tell this man is at the end. Like he doesn't know. Yeah. Like she's gonna fuck everything up, and I don't know what to do. Like there's no other solution that I can think of. I do like Captain America's perspective in the tiniest bit when he's like. See, Dr. Strange said he has half an idea. Give him a minute, kind of thing. And I'm like, all right, he kind of does. He has a point, though. Like, if there's, even, a little chance that they could find a different way, we should take that avenue. I do think it's fucking stupid of him to not think that the other way is a valuable way as well, kind of thing.
Also, Doctor Strange is never reliable. He never does anything. He just kind of astroplanes around and doesn't do.
He just floats in and does shit. And this, he does feel like he's been I've been doing all this research. I can't find anything. Magic's not going to help us, kind of thing. And he's like, well, I haven't.
I mean, thanks for doing
everywhere.
The research,
I guess. Anyway,
I did hate the beat with Kitty in this beat where they go to Genosha and Kitty goes, "I hate this place." And then Wolverine says, "It ain't Paradise Island." And she says, "All I see when I see this place is that this is what the humans would do to us." And like, first of all, like for a mutant to hate that place, like that's totally understandable. Why would you want to go to where like 10 million mutants died? And then B, it's not what they would do to you. It's like, well, I guess Cassandra Nova did it to them. But humans still.
Well, but she means what they would do like across. You know.
Oh,
I think she means if they had their way, we would not exist. Yeah. Right.
I do like how quickly
like it was phrased, not in the
after they land that Spider-Man's the only one that can like feel what's going on, and they're all kind of just like looking around.
Are they all
frozen all the way? Yeah, I know. I love that. Yeah, but that was a fun little beat. That was just him going like, "What the hell's happening?" And he gets to that one room that we have the dark vision of later, but it burns to white. I also like how it looks when it burns away. Like it looks like the film got stuck in the reel and the projectors.
I mean, it looks like a vagina, but that's another story.
It's also like another hint that Pietro's wand is gone, and then all of a sudden Professor X disappears, and it's because Pietro's being at super speed, and he grabbed that motherfucker and took off with him. Right? Isn't that what happened?
Because they needed him. Yep.
Right, but it's very spooky. You're thinking Wanda's disappearing people, but it's actually Pietro just grabbing him. And
just speed going. Yeah. Another art note: when Spidey's sense goes off, I like how he kind of stylizes the other heroes as just black silhouettes with Cyclops'
eyes. Yeah, he's kind of like in his own moment.
Yeah, very cool.
That's a cool little panel. Very cool panel.
The silent page of him walking around is great. Also, real quick art note. Just bookending the book is Peter waking up in bed. He wakes up the exact same way at the end. But he's with Mary Jane again and not. I just like the way he wakes up. He's like, huh? What's happening?
Yeah, but he wakes up. Right? He's with Gwen Stacy. Plot twist.
Yeah, right now he's with Gwen. Yeah. That's how you know something's wrong. He wakes up and gets out of bed and walks away, and then there's like blonde hair in the bed. And Issue 2. We spent way too long.
Issue 2.
All right, this is really just like checking in with the world. Like, this is the status of all the major players in this world and kind of what they're currently doing.
And there's a lot of playing around with Gambit is a street criminal.
Well, he was a thief. He's a thief. He's always been a thief.
Yeah, and Emma and
apparently that's what he would want to do in his heart's desire. You know.
Well, that's the gist. Is that like Professor X Wanda's used Professor X to find out people's heart's desire, and I my big note for this issue is that Emma is a child therapist for like kid mutants, and I thought that was so adorable. That's like in this world, she's not an abused, broken person, and she just helps. Same with Kitty as well. Kitty's also a teacher. Like they're both.
Kitty's a school teacher.
She's just living a boring ass life being a teacher. Also, on that same note, Peter Colossus also not tortured and had a horrible life. He's just a farmer in Russia.
Yeah,
he just plows fields as his own plow horse.
With Emma, and even back to like Exceptional X-Men, she still wants to protect kids and teach kids and educate them, but she's got very like not malicious, but very reckless, traumatic ways of teaching kids. Where she just seems to be like a genuinely good, like well-balanced person, being like, you don't have to worry about fighting Sentinels, so we're just going to talk about like your powers and how it's making you feel, blah blah blah. So I thought that was a very cute. To know that Emma just really wants to protect kids.
Even in the Hellfire Club, she was still like training new kids.
Yeah.
And then Generation X, I'm officially an X-Man, but like I have kids.
Yeah.
She's always been
another cool
she was
thing.
A fucked up person before.
Yeah, exactly.
In this world,
another
she's fine.
Cool thing. In this universe, Hank Pym is also an insecure piece of shit.
Yeah.
So
he's 5 seconds away from inventing Ultron. Like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be squashed because they live in a utopia of mutants, but I mean, they're 5 seconds.
It doesn't matter. He's waiting to press that button to, invent Ultron or do whatever. But basically, so for listeners who maybe haven't read this, but the main setup is that in this world of M, mutants are the dominant species. There's mutant celebrities, the House of Magnus, It's sort of implied they rule the world, although we don't get a lot of details
Yeah.
into the politics or like what kind of world empire they're running. We don't really get a lot
Yeah,
of
they
details.
don't. We don't get a lot there. It's yeah. It's more like they run mutant kind, and there is still other peoples that they recognize and nations they recognize, maybe. But like, it's like, yeah, but what is us? It's our show, kind of thing.
What was y'all's thoughts on what the Sentry's going through?
I couldn't care less. I mean, he's in therapy. I hate that. I couldn't care less about that character in any storyline. I don't like.
Well, it's just because I was like, oh, this is interesting because I thought it was just like the Void thing going on here. But then I was like, oh, well, the Sentry's powers are the same as Wanda's. He can just warp reality to his whim. So I was thinking, I couldn't tell when he's talking about how it's he says, I know what's real. I'm not crazy. I know what's real. And he's like basically implying this isn't real. And I'm like, I'm wondering if his powers were subconsciously pushing against Wanda's.
I think that's
probably
what that's trying to do.
Yeah, probably.
I didn't pick that up back in 2005. I was just like, oh, it's the Void. Whatever.
No, it was probably that. But again, I just don't find the Sentry interesting on any level. Colossus is, of course, plowing fields in Russia. I guess that's what you do.
I said, he's just peacefully being a farmer like he always wanted to be. He was never involved in any fighting. He just has strength, and he's like, oh, I'll use that strength to feed people.
Storm's like a Princess of Kenya, and Janet Van Dyne is a designer, kind of like in mainstream. But I just want to point out Storm's dress. There's a lot of upper boob in this comic book. Coipel draws a lot of upper boob, not side boob, not under boob. It's upper boob.
He draws boobs spectacularly. That's all I would say. She's just hanging in that dress.
But I do like it is kind of a funny beat because she's trying on this dress and then she summons the elements and throws everything around and she goes, well, when I summon the elements, it crumples the dress. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's gonna ruin my dress.
She's like, the dress gets messed up when I summon the elements.
All right, so we get to the main beat of this last thing, and it's Wolverine waking up.
Which is Wolverine.
The second he wakes up. All right, so I don't hate this though. This is fun Wolverine to me. Like, this is the Wolverine I want to read when stuff's actually matters and he's not just thrown in there to be like the badass. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess, but this just feels like in the movie Days of Future Past when they just made it about Wolverine, this just feels like the same thing of Wolverine has to be the snap out of it main character and all these.
God bless it. Don't compare it to that movie. Jesus.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Wolverine is the linchpin of both.
It's stupid.
But it's kind of like
being the linchpin by him remembering his entire life, and in turn remembers before House of M happened, is a fun twist of like he got his wish, but it's also a curse because he woke up with like.
Well, kind of like her spell backfired on him because his wish was to remember all of his different lives. So in this reality, he remembers pre House of M, like what was happening. So it's like, oh, this isn't right.
And he apparently has a redhead fetish, confirmed. Confirmed redhead fetish.
I think he's just really into Jean. I think he's just really into Jean because I can't think of any other partner he's had that's had red hair.
Well Mystique right now.
Mystique.
Yeah. Which is also funny because it's like, why aren't you just Mystique with your red hair? Why'd you morph into Jean?
Because Logan wants her to be Jean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's just funny that's like you've got your redhead fetish, but it's like, bitch, you are redheaded. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why? What?
Yeah, you don't. Why are you turning into Jean?
But then we zoom out and we find out that in the skies of New York is an entire flotilla of helicarriers and sentinels, just with M banners stapled on top. Like just fabric.
I kind of like the sentinels with like armor that has like engraved runes or whatever. Like,
I thought the sentinel design was awesome.
I thought they were cool.
It kind of implies like I wonder maybe they get into it. I don't remember. I read a lot of the side comics back in the day. I did not reread them for this. I don't remember if they explain why the sentinels are like exist at all. Like, was that like a thing the humans tried to do and they're like, no, those are ours now.
Because I think it's only been 30 years. Is that right?
Yeah,
okay,
there
yeah,
must
that
be
makes
something
sense.
where Magneto repurposed them. Yeah, I
Mhm.
don't remember. I really don't remember. Okay,
At
but
any rate,
issue
kind of cool.
3.
I like it.
Yeah, let's jump to issue 3. Is kind of a cool cover because you get Wolverine on an Akira motorcycle.
That is pretty cool.
You get Spider-Man's crotch. You get some Sentinels in the sky. You got it all.
It's an inflatable Spider-Man, though.
You got it all in here.
So Wolverine's
and this
plan is to leap off of after having all his memories and waking up. He just
so
jumps
this
off. He just jumps off. It's hilarious.
This reminded me a lot of. Did you all ever see The Fifth Element? There's a scene when Lilu, the Fifth Element, wakes up. She escapes her confinement and
In her little
jumps into the
straps.
sky and like falls through a bunch of flying cars and lands in Bruce Willis's taxi. But this kind of reminded me of like Wolverine just jumps through the sky into this mega city with ads everywhere.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminded me of that Fifth Element scene.
I do kind of like
I've never seen Fifth Element.
Mystique's actual concern on her face. She's like, "What the fuck is he doing? You know, like what's happening? Why are you acting so insane?"
Well, also, why is his first instinct like, why not just ask, "Hey, I'm gonna get off at the next stop"?
Or
Nothing's
just
weird.
like why
I
not?
just want to
All
get
right,
off at the next
so here's
stop. Why
here's
is his
my
instinct to jump
that's my question.
into the
Like,
sky?
maybe just to get away from it as fast as he can. I don't know, but like so if you remember your whole lives, including this one, so he's got like the memories of fake House of M overlapped with his actual entire lifetime, which is a lot. I know it's a lot to take in, but what does he forgets he has a tracker in his own neck? That's kind of random. And also, if you remember everything and you remember you're in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D., why don't you just be like, hey, stop real quick. I want a hot dog. I mean, make up any.
Yeah, I just want to get off.
Like, you're director of S.H.I.E.L.D. You could just be like, hey, stop the thing. I'm going to, take a flying car down to the ground or whatever for no reason at all. And they'll be like, what are you doing? Don't worry about it. Maybe he just wanted to get away. I don't know.
Ask Nightcrawler to bamf you down.
Yeah.
Another thing about Wolverine. So his healing factor, like he can fall 20,000 feet and just get up. Like
first of all, I feel like they overpower that so many times, but this is not the first time.
Yeah, I know, but it's
Gene
just
melted his body down to a skeleton.
I know.
Like, I'm good. It's coming back.
Yeah, it's just wild. It's wild. And then we get
Wolverine flipping through a newspaper. Yeah,
the Pulse, the House of Magnus' big day. So we find
this
out
kind of gives you like a touchstone into like what's going on in the world, which is interesting. But I think it's more interesting to read the side issues. Like if you want to read about Iron Man, read about Iron Man. But yeah, I want to get right to Wolverine breaking into Xavier's mansion, and it's just some fat guy that lives in a mansion. And I love it. He's like, "Where's Xavier?" And he's like, "Huh? Who? What?" Like it's the best scene because like normally Wolverine would be like, "Fuck you," and kill him or something, but like he's just like, "All right, fine, I gotta go." Pretty funny scene. I liked it.
Gotta get out of there.
He's like, all right, there's no Charles. That's a problem. In his mind, it's the most useful person to get back to normal reality, which I get completely. But
also, a side note, this was actually in issue 2, but there was like a little headline snippet about MJ, like Mary Jane Watson, breaking barriers.
Yeah.
As an actress, like what barriers is a white woman breaking as an actress?
It's She's a human white woman.
But again, they've been in charge 20 years.
Like Carol, they didn't have... Carol's in charge. Carol's like one of the most popular superheroes that's not a mutant, but for whatever reason,
okay.
Like, good job, human. Good job having powers, you human. Good on you. I think that's all it is.
That's why isn't Spider-Man's whole storyline about people think he's a mutant, but he's
but he's not. I understand. He's hiding it.
Yeah, that was the twist. Is he's convinced people he's a mutant.
He's famous because they think he's a mutant, basically.
But so back to this. S.H.I.E.L.D. catches up to Wolverine, and they're wearing very theatrical costumes.
Like military regalia, but it's the field uniforms, which I think is weird.
Yeah,
but they look cool. They look cool.
Because those leg guards look real heavy. Like I feel like
Yeah, they do. They look like they weigh 1,000 pounds.
Also, one thing I want to say, because I always say this every time it happens, but it's Rogue because she says sugar.
Well, it's Rogue because of the white hair.
That's how you know it's Rogue, because she says...
What I thought was funny? I did not know that was Jessica Drew until they said her name out loud. I thought that was M.
Oh,
the whole time.
I thought it was Psylocke.
Maybe it's just because it was called House of M, and I was just like, oh, M's there. And then they were like, Agent Drew. And I was like, Agent Drew. And I was like very confused. I was like, oh, Spider-Woman. Got it.
I also thought Psylocke until they said Drew.
Psylocke's also a good guess. Nightcrawler not doing it for me here, guys. I don't like it.
I
don't like Nightcrawler as a grinning villain with long hair.
Nightcrawler's personality was just odd in general. He was very villain.
He seemed juvenile, but he seemed like a teenager, like very juvenile or something. I don't know. It was weird.
Kind of strange.
Also, a team of Nightcrawler, Rogue, Mystique, Toad, and Jessica Drew
Those are your
can't
top
handle
people?
Wolverine. But they can't handle Wolverine? Like, are you kidding me?
Of course they can't handle Wolverine.
Do you think Rogue has...
Toad?
Miss Marvel's powers right now, right? She just has...
No, I think Rogue just has her mutant powers.
Yeah, that was my guess.
Oh yeah, Rogue's not super overpowered right now.
And Nightcrawler, in fairness, Nightcrawler was about to tag Wolverine, but he got shot with arrows.
Mm-hmm. And then Wolverine drives his motorcycle into Cloak, and that takes into the Human Resistance. And we can skip right to the next issue because it goes right into it.
Gotta say, Cloak is a pretty cool fucking character. I really like his design and his powers. I kind of wish I saw
underused.
Underused character.
Underused.
I like him. Yeah. Cool power set. Oh yeah, the big reveal at the end of this issue is that Hawkeye's back.
Right.
He's back with a Winter Soldier looking arm.
He is indeed.
We do have a brief check-in with Magnus just walking around in his robes in like fucking Utopia.
Well, we see like an eyeless child, creepy boy.
It's the creepy child. It's the creepy child. I made this for you, Grandpa, with my brain.
With my mind.
That's how he said it. That's how. With my mind, Grandpa. It's a boat.
But so then, like, in the sewers, we get Wolverine's introduced to this sort of like resistance of non-mutant superheroes with Luke Cage.
Are they in sewers? Where are you getting that from?
Yeah, I don't know where you're getting
a sewer, right?
Where are you getting a sewer from?
It looks like a sewer. What are they? Oh,
they're in the slums where the humans live. The downtrodden and.
Who are these people? It's Cloak. It's Black Cat. I don't know who the chick in the red jacket is. Hawkeye.
I think that's Jessica.
Danny Rand?
Danny Rand's
Jessica
there.
Jones?
Yeah, I think
it's not Jessica Jones.
It's not?
No, it's not Jessica Jones because there's a whole thing later when Luke calls.
He calls her. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Another Hawkeye note, and I mentioned this in Avengers Disassembled, but it's so jarring to read Hawkeye pre-Matt Fraction's Hawkeye run. Because he's such a different character, and he's like a Captain America-like just asshole.
He is. He's
a complete asshole, and it's just so weird to read him in this, having read the Fraction, David Aja, Hawkeye.
Yeah, but remember in Fraction, David Aja's run, and like every girl that showed up and talked to Hawkeye, and they were like, "Oh, you're such an asshole," like that's what they're referencing. Is all this past crap, and he's like, "I'm just trying to help out these people that are my neighbors now." Like, I think that comic really took it and changed it.
His left arm sleeve looks like Winter Soldier. It's got like weird ribbed metal shit.
Yeah, he is very Captain America though.
Thing. Yeah, he is. I mean, he's one of the only people that can use the shield. Of course, he's Captain America.
Well, I read Dark Reign recently, and Captain America's dead during that, and Hawkeye is very much just like carbon copy of Captain
Picking
America.
Up the slack, yeah.
He always has been. He's Captain America's understudy.
Right. So just to fast forward, Sentinels crash this party, and so Cloak.
So I do love that beat though, because he's like, "How long have I been out?" And they're like, "I don't know, a couple of minutes." He's like, 30 seconds too late. Kind of thing. Like I love how Wolverine's like, I was trying to tell you that they're gonna track us here, you know, but they wouldn't let him get a word out. That just kept shooting him, and he would pass out again, which I loved. I thought that was kind of cool.
So Wolverine basically tells them how he remembered and everything, and then they introduce him to this little girl who's just randomly in the group named Layla, who is able to kind of unlock people's true memories.
Right.
And we'll find out later why, but yeah, she's able to just sort of like
I do
Except
love
that's
the
not
cloak.
why.
magically.
Sorry, go ahead, Patty.
No, I was just saying Layla Miller, like it's said by Doctor Strange that she was a failsafe built in by Wanda, and I guess that's not really the case because her storyline's crazy and she like grows up in the future. There's a lot of time travel, and she goes back into the past and like gives her younger self her powers or something. It's like one of those
Why not?
time
Why not?
travel.
Yeah, because why not
loop?
overcomplicate the lore? Why not overcomplicate the lore about something like that?
I just love when they teleport out via cloak and they're like, who made it? But they just teleport into like, whose office are they in? I don't even know.
Kingpin, Wilson Fisk's.
Oh yeah,
He's
right.
the only place
But it's so clean and pristine, and they're just covered in gray dust. Like I just love them tumbling out of cloak, and they're like, it's like the explosion happened like through the cloak, sort of. It was pretty fun. Yeah, so they just have a long conversation with Wolverine, and he's like, yeah, I'm on your page already, man. I don't need Layla, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, so they just kind of get caught up to speed, and Wolverine just tells them
they're trying to figure things out. Hawkeye they're only hinting at it, but Hawkeye is very traumatized by the fact that Wanda killed him, and now he's woke up in this universe.
Yeah. And the issue ends with them taking, because Layla can unlock memories, so they take her to Emma and Scott's apartment, and she unlocks Emma's memories, and we get some great top boob shots of Emma as the White Queen in her memories. The Coipel special.
Some real good ones. I mean, Emma laying back on that bed? Come on.
I do like.
Is there a Snyder Suit scale
Wolverine...
for how hot women are drawn? Not in a bad way.
Well, like absolute Wonder Woman, is on the Snyder Suit scale for sure.
What were you gonna say?
I did like how they go. Who is this? And Wolverine says this is Emma Frost, leader of the X-Men, not like Cyclops is. Like,
that is the cool little.
Yeah.
Or is it a Wolverine dig at Slim? Or is it just him kind of?
Maybe, but I don't know. She was pretty much the leader at this point.
She was.
She was.
She was calling shots.
And then issue 5. So first of all, Emma's psychic projection of Layla's brain is the brain. Like, isn't that a little on the nose? It just seems a little too direct, It's just like brains. I don't know what. Like, is that what we're going to visualize the brain as? A brain? Like, come on.
I mean, maybe it's for Emma's own benefit to know what part of the brain to go into. I don't know. It could be a visual for her, even just be like, well, this is the prefrontal cortex where these things typically are. I did like how Emma was like, you're a psychic, but not a psychic. I've never seen anything like this. And Layla goes, what does that mean? And Emma goes, it means you're a conundrum. And Layla goes, is that good? And Emma says, rarely. Rarely, but hey, you never know.
Pretty good. Also, Cyclops arriving in a suit. He looked super Daredevil. Like that.
He's just a businessman. He's just a businessman lawyer from Hell's Kitchen.
What does he do? I wanted to know so badly what Cyclops
what does he do? He just works in an office. He's just married to Emma and Abby.
Actually, so the sad truth, Patrick, is what Cyclops does. This is what Japanese salarymen do. Is he was actually laid off 2 years ago, but every morning he leaves the home as if he still works and goes and sits in a park for 8 hours to pretend like he still works because he's too embarrassed.
And he knows Emma knows because she's a psychic.
He lost the job. Yeah, because it would be a shame for him to admit that he lost the job, but he still plays the play.
I think I kind of love it though, in the sense of like in a world where mutants are happy, like he has
an office
real
job.
purpose. Yeah, he just has a normal job. Like he's like, oh, everything's good. Oh, we're all good.
He doesn't
all
know
right.
purpose.
Well, I'm just gonna. I guess I'll go to work.
Yeah.
Just got a normal job where I just work in an office.
Well,
like his desire is not to like be the head of Shield or whatever. You know, like it's just he's just like, I'm good. I'm married to a mutant lady.
Except that the minute his mind is cleared, though, he's right back to like, okay, I'm in charge. Let's go attack.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So he's pretty happy to jump back.
He's like, oh, this isn't good.
Yeah.
Also, all right, so it's Emma knows Cyclops like very well, right? So like, I get it. Like them waking up Cyclops, they're like, we're gonna need Cyclops. You know, like that makes complete sense, right? It's a little ham-fisted how they do it, but like it makes sense. Them waking up Peter, I'm like, that was kind of mean.
It was very mean. Also, Peter
kind of mean, and he's fucking traumatized. And I don't know. This is pre-Civil War, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like, no one knows he's Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
Can we?
In this world, they do obviously.
Let's talk about his haircut and earring, though. Like, what is that?
Peter?
He's got like
I think that's
almost
very
shaved head and an earring. What is going on?
Isn't that like very Brad? It's like Brad Pitt.
Yeah, it's like Fight Club Brad Pitt.
I guess they also mind wipe him while he's with his family.
I know. With his family, who none of them exist. Actually, they're all either dead or never existed in the real world.
Again, that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. That'd be devastating.
Also, I love it because Spider-Man freaks out. He freaks out and he runs away. And Wolverine's like, I'll talk to him. And you think you're going to get this like samurai mentor speech from Wolverine.
Yeah.
And Wolverine goes, we got a lot to do. Can you get it together? That's his advice. He says, what? Yeah. He's like, how am I supposed to take all this in one life? We got a lot to do. Can you just get it together already?
I mean, Peter says
45 seconds.
Logan, I swear to God, I think I'm going to kill them. Magneto, his stupid daughter. I'm going to kill them with my bare hands. I'm not even going to be able to stop myself. And he goes, don't worry. You won't get the chance. I'll have already done it. Like, that's fucked. I mean, like, he didn't go like samurai wisdom on him, but he just went, I understand. I get everything you're going through, but we have to try to put the world back to how it was.
Just yesterday, Spider-Man was like, you would kill me if my powers went out of control?
Yeah.
You guys are assholes. It's like, fuck off, Pete. What are you talking about?
Come on, Peter.
Get out of here.
And so after Peter, we get this little montage of mind freeing all these characters. Yeah. One question I had.
Assembling the team like Ocean's 11 style.
Because for the heist you need the right.
Do you think
team.
we need one more?
Yeah. It's Elvis. A little less conversation is going to be playing when they're doing this.
My one question I had was, so when they get to Captain America, he's an old man, and so they say like, well, he's an old man, leave him alone. But then there's a little panel of Layla's eyes glowing, as if. So does she actually free Captain America? Like you see here, there's a little panel of her eyes.
Yeah,
it is supposed to hint that she does.
It's zooming in on it slowly though throughout, so I don't know if it's.
Because I feel like each time it's saying she blinks and then they get their memories back, but this time we just get her kind of looking. So I don't know if it's supposed to imply that they do, because later it seems like they don't actually.
Yeah, they don't.
He doesn't.
So I don't know.
He doesn't remember anything, right?
Yeah.
Also, he's still a super soldier, right? He might be 80 years old, or 100. I don't know.
Well,
okay, Patrick, rein it in. We know you've got a thing for older men, but just rein it in, okay? Maybe he's just an old man.
I don't know if he is a super soldier. Is he a super soldier?
Oh, I thought it was just the difference was he wasn't frozen in a block of ice.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, they talk about how he's in all the textbooks.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he probably wouldn't last long.
But so they do. So they get the team together.
He throws like one thing.
They turn off.
Kind of bounces off Magneto's head. He's like, "What was that?"
Yeah. They turn off Elvis Presley's soundtrack. The team is assembled, and then the exact same Shield strike team attacks again. because we got to get that fight again of the same
Yeah,
people.
but then they just free them real fast. Yeah, it's like real quick.
And then they just mind wipe them all. I do like how Mystique's first action is just to slap Wolverine in the face. She's like, "Oh, I think I broke my hand," but I liked how she just immediately slaps him.
Yeah, she's mad at him for waking her up, sort of, maybe, but at the same time, like, I don't know.
I almost felt like she was mad at him. She's like the fact that she cared about him so much in this reality.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
Pissed her off. I don't know.
And now she's back to like normal her, and she's like, damn you.
Like, you motherfucker.
And then we see one thing we didn't mention about Genosha is that the current royal family of the world, the House of Magnus, is, of course, Magneto. He has Pietro and Lorna Polaris, his two mutant children, and then he has Wanda, who's his human, quote unquote. Child.
In this creation, or in this creation of the world, she doesn't have powers.
Yeah, she's a human child.
Sorry for not watching YouTube and listening to the podcast. I was doing quotations around powers. She doesn't have powers. The veil of the disguise that Wanda's given herself is that she can just live happily with her children in paradise and not have the burden of having powers, even though she does.
Another thing that Mobius Couch is famous for is, of course, the representation and use of the word daddy in media.
This was mildly
there's a lot of Magneto's always daddy to everybody.
Daddy
Lorna calls him daddy.
Daddy, I've been calling you. Are you okay? Are you okay? I'm fine.
A lot of daddy.
Are you sure? Enjoy it, daddy. This is your day. Like, holy shit, like 5 times on one page. I was like, good God, could they do it less, please? Also,
Pietro calls him father. Father?
Yeah, that's
How could
fine.
you, father?
How dare you?
How much better would it be, though, if Pietro called him daddy? How could you, daddy?
Daddy?
Oh, my God.
How could you, daddy?
He should.
How great would that be?
Also, it's such a weird thing. Like, when you're older, like, don't you just call your parents by their names?
Nope. You call him daddy.
No.
But do you call her mommy? No, it's just mom or hey, mom. You drop off the kid part. Like, if my daughter was 35 and she was like, hey, daddy, I'd be like, stop that right now. What the fuck? What are you doing? Don't do that again.
Magneto has not. Yeah, Magneto has not.
It's up to him to say it. That's what I'm saying. They're just gonna keep calling him whatever they want to call him until he's like, can we not do that anymore? You're a grown-ass woman. You're a grown-ass woman. Like, come on.
Okay, House of M, issue 6. So the heist is on. So the first part of the heist is they steal a helicarrier.
Well, so they're having a big Met Gala for Magnus.
Yeah, or a Magnus Gala.
Yeah, they're having a Magnus Gala.
So one question about the helicarrier thing. In this world of mutants, they really don't have, like, better psychic defenses than just Emma can mind wipe everybody and steal a helicarrier? That's the psychic defense?
I don't think they're worried about it.
I feel like there's literally, because
they put Xavier in the ground.
There's thought bubbles everywhere. I feel like there's literally a random thought bubble talking about, like, psi-ware, like something to protect you from telepaths. And another comment saying that it's, like, either too expensive or inefficient or something. So I think
maybe in a world of mutants, there's just a lot of telepaths, and it's just like whatever.
It makes sense. I mean, just like our own army sometimes doesn't put armor on our vehicles and lets soldiers get blown up because it's cheaper. Maybe that's the same thing. They just don't put psi armor on.
I think you're just kind of relying. There's so many telepaths.
You know what it is, Al? It's not that the armor is cheaper. The fuel is cheaper because the cars are a lot heavier when they have armor on.
Oh, well, that's
they want to save on fuel.
That's it. Yeah. Well, the helicarriers also fly a lot lighter.
You want to save on fuel because the Pentagon always has a balanced budget. They're never over budget. They're always really good with that.
Well, right now we live in a world.
They've never had $1 trillion shortfall or something like that. I don't know. What it is.
No. That'd be insane.
I'm kidding. They've never passed an audit ever, apparently.
That's be insane. They pass every time.
Yeah. We're also ironically not in a current moment in time where the Pentagon's actions are directly raising fuel prices across the globe.
Yeah, that would be strange.
That'd be weird.
But God forbid we put armor on the vehicles of the soldiers.
Nope.
All right. Issue 6?
Yeah, issue 6. The Magnus Gala, the House of Magnus Gala.
All right, what do you think about the little Akira boy sitting on Eric's lap? Number 1. Number 2,
terrifying.
what are they wearing?
So, first of all, not an Akira boy because he's a little general boy. This is a
Well,
little
it's just
boy
a
in a
straight. It's
suit.
just a very thin, straight, giant throne chair he's sitting on. It just reminded me of.
But he's
there's
wearing a little
aesthetics
but he's
there,
wearing
yeah.
a little short suit.
Yeah, they're wearing
like with
they're wearing little
shorts.
boy outfits. It's
Little
fine.
boy outfits.
But I like how Polaris and Wanda are just like in weird, highly accentuated like gypsy regalia. I would call it.
Oh,
you know
you're
what I
right.
mean? Like
It
they're
is a
just
bit,
really they're dressed very strangely.
Well, aren't they gypsies, Pietro and Wanda?
Lorna's
What
not
were
though, is
they?
she? I don't
No,
know
but,
much about Lorna.
it's Wanda's world, you know. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's maybe.
Well, it is
been-
strange. So one thing I wanted to bring up, and I guess maybe it's better for issue 7, but let's chat about it now. But this whole idea of everybody getting what they want, it's just I want to talk about A, is this what Wanda wants? And B, if it is, it's kind of fascinating that what she wants is just to fully retreat from the world
And be with her kids.
and be only a mother, like in a
Yeah.
single room with her 2 kids, and not interact with anything else.
And be simultaneously in charge of the entire world vicariously through her father and brother and sister, and also be waited on hand and foot. But yeah, the first one too.
But she was
Well,
also
but all
like,
of that's happening like
wanted to-
underconsciously. I mean, I think it is interesting that like what her active mind is on is just I want to be in a playroom with my kids.
No, that's just the part
and
of
do
this world
nothing
she
else.
created for herself.
But that's what she wants. That's what I mean. Like what she wants is that existence, which is sort of interesting as in this world of like women can do both. They can have a career and kids. They can do this and that. But her specific wish is like, I just want to be left alone with my 2 kids in a room.
I think
It's
that's
sort
her
of
still
interesting.
She's still fucked up here, obviously. I think that's her still dealing with her trauma of not having the children.
But I also think
so. Is that what she would want in a normal capacity? Probably not. Is it what she's craving after getting her reality shattered every time she brings back her children by Professor Xavier? Probably.
I think for me, I feel like she just didn't like she didn't want to be in the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. They were kind of like coerced into that. And I don't think she wanted to be an Avenger, but she's got superpowers and there's the burden of having you those.
Yeah, if Pietro was the one who drug her into that.
And then because she specifically says, she's like, what's that noise? And I think she's talking to Stephen Strange at this point. And he's like, they're fighting. And she's like, oh, I made this world so there wouldn't be like conflict anymore. Like there wouldn't be big fights. Like I don't want to. It's like she doesn't want she doesn't want. I mean, there are superheroes, but it just seemed like, to Al's point, she just wants to be at home with her family, and she doesn't want to be dealing with all this bullshit Avengers adventuring stuff. But yeah.
Well, but to that point, in this world, she is a human daughter of Magneto. So what she wants apparently is to not have powers. She wants to not.
That too. Yeah, that's a good point.
I think that's just her hiding from everyone.
Okay, that's true.
To be with her kids.
Her
powers are also a burden, though.
To be with her kids. Don't get me wrong, but
her powers. Her powers invented those children to begin with. If she didn't have their powers, like the whole trauma of having kids and losing them would have never happened. And then B, her powers went out of control, and she killed a bunch of people that she loved.
Yeah. So part of her, she is kind of getting her wish in that.
Yeah, she doesn't want to have powers.
So I do want to highlight that she did not invent those kids. They received souls from the devil god Mephisto, and therefore are real. So just FYI, it's fine. It's fine. Everything, it's okay. That she
totally invented them. They were later given souls.
Yeah. Okay, but so back to issue 6. I kind of
I'm still stuck on what Magneto's wearing. I know they clearly did things. They took over the Sentinels, or they had fights, but I mean, it really looks like he gave himself a bunch of Nobel Peace Prizes.
Yeah, I think why not?
Let's pin myself with this one. Yeah, I did that too.
I think it's
probably like the first Human War is this pin. The second Human War is that pin.
It's so fucked up.
The Nobel Peace Prize is this pin. The Greenland War is this pin. I think he kind of puts them all on there. This is
very Ocean's 11 because the whole time they're in the helicarrier, they're just like talking about the plan.
Yeah. And Cyclops comes up with a 3-team plan.
I love this beat. I love the beat when they're like, Cyclops, what's the plan? And he goes, 3 teams. But then he's interrupted for like a whole conversation about whether or not they should do anything because if Wanda really did give everyone their dream, or at least a life that was comfortable
like
enough
is it
where they
happy,
wouldn't,
or can we even
should
turn it
we
back?
do anything?
Yeah.
So they
So
had
I
this
was-
big long debate.
Yeah, and I was going to go on a whole diatribe of like, Jessica kind of has the point. We should talk about it, but she's a Skrull right now.
Yeah,
so,
Yeah, she's a Skrull.
So
But
let's
anyway,
not-
what's Patty, and what's the end?
She's a Skrull.
What's the end of that?
So they, at the end of it, they had that conversation, and Cyclops goes, "Everybody done? Okay, three teams."
Yeah.
That's my favorite. It's my favorite part of the whole book. She's like, oh, it's like 2 pages, like Spider-Man's. Well,
Yeah.
should we? And blah, blah, blah. And they're all talking, and then at the very end, he's like, okay, let's get back to the fucking point.
Okay.
What's the plan, Sparky? Well, I can tell you, it's a. All right, okay, just sit here for a minute.
I also like how
until
the
you're all
3 teams.
done.
The 3 teams are Cloak, Emma, and Layla. Then the other
And
team
everybody
is
else.
just
Well,
Doctor
so their
Strange.
goal still is to get to Xavier, which again they don't know.
Yeah, but
yet,
I get. But the
he's-
3
he's
teams is
dead.
really like Psychic. Go find Xavier. Magic Man. Go find Wanda. Everybody else. Let's go fight.
Yes.
It's not
Well,
like
yeah,
the three-
but
Not
that's a
really.
3-pronged plan. They're
It
going
is.
to
It
3
is
different
technically.
spots.
It is technically 3 teams. That's correct. So they attack.
Listen,
but the big
don't butcher Cyclops' plan. It's a good plan.
is a solid plan.
what-
But so the end of this issue
Go
though
ahead.
was the twist that the Emma Frost team finds out that Charles Xavier is a headstone and is dead in this House of M
Mhm.
world.
There is. I mean, I think there's one beat.
So does that mean that Charles got what he wanted, and what he wanted was to not exist?
No, no, Charles did not. In this world, Charles Xavier is the only person that did not get what he wanted.
Okay,
Because
I
he's
just wanted
the
to check. I
biggest
just wanted
threat.
to check on that.
He's the biggest threat to them not pulling this off.
Yeah. And that's basically 6, and then issue 7
Also, there's some
starts.
solid She-Hulk boob in that fight scene. Just
Yeah, I think yes.
solid She-Hulk boob.
There
Yeah.
is.
And
I mean, like the zipper's barely clinging on for life.
yeah,
That
she's
was, I think, the
wearing-
other. Yeah, that
She's
and the
wearing
storm.
athleisure. Like, why is
it's-
she wearing athleisure?
She's
what
always
she
does.
that's her costume is. She's just
Yeah,
athleisure
tights.
wear.
I guess.
Lululemon.
Yeah. But
You're saying it's athleisure as if like what Carol's wearing isn't just
yeah, well,
a
that's-
yoga outfit.
Yeah, that is that. But so that's issue 6, and then issue 7
Mhm.
starts with again, and I loved issue 7, but I just want to say the first panel is like the typical crossover event 2-page splash of like
It's
everybody punching something, you know. And even I think Carol even says like, "This is madness. What's going on?" And it like exactly this is
Wait,
madness.
there's
It's just-
there's one beat about Xavier that I want to talk about. I just love
Okay.
when Cloak floats underground.
Oh yeah.
It checks for the body.
just to find the bones.
just-
Like he's
He's
looking
like,
for
hold
the
on, hold on.
bones.
Let me just hold on, one second. And they're like, what are you gonna do? Look at that. And he's like, yep. And it just goes underground. It's so funny. And it comes up. And he's like, he's not there. Might not
Also-
be real. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, but also like
Really
that's
funny.
clearly a memorial, right? Like typically bones.
Yeah.
aren't
That's
what I would say.
memorial.
Not,
Yeah.
but
This
also the
is
bones might not be there,
monument.
bud. You know.
Yeah.
The one point I
Anyway,
want to
sorry.
make, just to piggyback off of Al's point about this page splash, the fighting. We made fun of this line in Avengers Forever constantly because they said it so often. But the first line on this page is She-Hulk saying, "Don't stop, keep fighting,
Yeah.
keep fighting."
Yeah.
Well,
The only thing is Avengers
did-
Forever
Yeah,
was like
go ahead.
5 issues of that. This is only one
Yeah,
issue, but
versus like also this is a giant distraction, and all she's saying is keep up the distraction, everybody. We need to keep distracting them. Whereas like in that they were literally just fighting to fight. That's all they were doing.
and
Also,
who
speaking of Avengers Forever, Janice Vell is alive in this. Like Captain Marvel's alive, but then he's not alive in the real world when they get back.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't that's weird. But is he so whose powers does Rogue get? Is that who's that
Captain-
get cosmic
Cap-
look?
That's Captain Marvel.
Oh, so he had that
But-
like cosmic
No,
looking
he
face.
steals Carol's
Yeah.
powers. Or I'm sorry, Rogue steals Carol's powers
When?
in the comics.
No, in this,
comic.
she
in
steals
this. Oh, in
one
this.
of Magnus's
Oh, God.
guard's powers, and
She
he has like a
steals-
space
Sorry, I was
face.
confused.
Yeah, she steals Captain Marvel's powers. Like I'm
Okay.
assuming that's the original Captain Marvel that died in the Kree-Skrull War, or not?
Maybe, but his face looks like space, like it has like stars.
Yeah,
in
he
it.
looks more like the
That's
Does
Genis-Vell.
look like
The Genis-Vell.
okay.
So maybe that's who it is. The actual guy from Avengers.
But one cool rogue thing. First of all, she doesn't say Suga so much this issue, but one cool rogue.
Wrong
beat
one,
is,
Sugar. She does.
Yes. Oh, she does use Suga. But Pietro kind of loses it and is like, I'm going to go super speed. And then immediately just bam, slams into Rogue and just that's it. You're done.
That was an amazing moment. It was an amazing
badass Rogue moment.
I think I like this issue more for the Doctor Strange conversation with Wanda is more is obviously the point of this issue. I mean, there's fighting happening and the fights are happening, but this is
a very Twilight Zone, the movie, but based on the children, the cornfield kid from the
the kid who goes to the cornfield. But
the movie that's a bit updated, like you're like trying to pacify this child who's like, don't say the wrong thing or they might disintegrate everything.
And they talk about that too, because like later Emma says things and she's like, well, we have to wait for Strange to say we can go, because again, they're kind of like tiptoeing around. If we do the wrong thing, reality.
I just love how it starts off. He's like, Wanda, you look well, and she's like, you look vibrant. Are you on the Astro plane? Anyway, she goes, I'm sorry. Strange goes, yes, how are you? I was scared we lost you. And she goes, why? And he's like, well, your body seemed to fall apart down there. and she's like, oh, that wasn't my body. I don't leave the children alone. That body was something for my father to show off on occasion. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's just little bits like that. I'm just like, I love how they're just having this calm conversation about how fucked up everything is down there.
Yeah. And also, I like how Wanda's kid tells Strange, playtime isn't talk time.
Yeah.
Which, is
May
true.
I play too?
Playtime.
Of course it is. It's good to see you again. I miss our talks. You remember me? Remember you? You were at the birth of my children. Such little good beats here.
So again, this is my favorite issue by far. I mean, this is really the only issue I think worth reading in this whole run. But I love this conversation.
Reading.
Yeah. I love all of the Pietro, Wanda, Eric, Magneto relationship play going on here. Like, it all really comes to a head really well. And the tragedy of sort of Magneto's bad fathership, Pietro and Wanda growing up in like a Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and Avengers. And again, that idea of Wanda being kind of pushed forward by all these other people into like, you should do this. We should do that. I just thought it all was done really well. And the flashback scenes of Pietro, the plot twist of it was Pietro who told her to make their thing.
Well, so I love the continuation.
But those are all
of that
great.
Scene
all those that flashback scene is done so well.
Eric's standing there, and then he has that same facial expression on, like, what would you have me do? And then he's like, fuck. And then the next panel is him. He walks away again. Shitty dad, but walks away, and that's when Pietro is like, okay, I'm gonna figure this out myself. Since he won't do something, I'm gonna do something. And you're right. Is it like a huge twist? No, not really. It's kind of telegraphed throughout. However, it's still fun. I love the reveal that it's Pietro, like whispering in her ear, like kind of, you need to do this, and she's like, I can't.
She's the more rational one in this conversation.
Yeah, she's literally gonna go and like, they should kill me. I can't control myself. Like, I'm gonna fuck everything.
And
up.
this is
like, what if you could just give everyone what they want? And they're like, man, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, and part of what I meant
people taking advantage of Wanda.
Yeah, but that's what I meant about when I was rereading this and reading her in a more empathetic light. It was moments like this where, you realize like, oh wait, she is saying, maybe I shouldn't be. Like, maybe I do have too much power and like this isn't good. But again, it's other people kind of pushing her towards different avenues. It's anyway. But that whole relationship between the three of them, that family, is done so well in issue 7.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Do you want the end? Like, to stick on that point though, when he's like, we never. Pietro says it. He's like, Magneto always put his dream of mutants over us, and we never stood a chance because we were just tools to him. And then when he kills Pietro, Wanda kind of reiterates, we never stood a chance. We never stood a chance with you as a father to turn out normal. That as well as the "What would you have me do" lines, or the 2 lines, and as well as the "No more mutants." But those are the 3 lines that really stuck with me from this.
And
Pietro's
back to
saying-
Magneto and
Go ahead.
Pietro. One last point I want to make is, again, what really highlights the fact that Magneto's ideology matters more than his own children is one of the things he says is like, "What have you done to the world? What have you done in my name?"
Yes.
That's what really bothers Magneto, is that Pietro fucked with his ideology, like his name, his image, and that's what drove him to basically murder his own son.
I fucking looked at that panel for like 5 minutes today. I'm like, is he wrapping him up for the first time, or is he literally nailing his son in the face with like a 5-ton brick of metal? And it's the latter. It's the latter.
He is slamming like
smashed his face in.
Yeah,
but you're right, Al. He's
murdering
like,
his own son.
It's the fact that he did it in his name and like sullied his name. Like, what the fuck, man? That's what sends him over the edge. And that's when Wanda's like, "Yeah, we never stood a chance with you as a prick."
Right. But I think that really highlights that idea of like his kids never mattered to him. What mattered was his ideology and his mission, and it just fucked up his kids.
Fucked him up bad.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, not speaking in defense of that in any way, shape, or form, but he's also fucking traumatized, and he's had a fucking
that's
horrible
true.
life.
Yeah,
and, like he's gone through horrible atrocities to get to where and like all he's ever witnessed is human beings shitting on mutants. Like, again, not to be like, "Oh, Magneto's the best guy ever," but like, man, like, yeah, were they fucked from birth? Yeah, sure, but I mean, like, I don't know.
Well, I guess they weren't fucking birth, though, right? I think that's the dynamic.
To empathize with his children you have to also empathize with him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Sure.
He's coming from the same place of trauma and fucked up shit. And
sure, that I know of,
his family got ripped apart. And
professional therapy, which might have been more helpful than we did.
Or
also,
slap a helmet on, cape, murder humans.
Yeah,
my therapies.
Also, there's that. We just watched that Noah Khan documentary, and he's got that line trying to forgive his parents for what their parents did to them. It's very salient here. No, I get your point, but I guess, Wanda and Pietro just wanted to be a family, and they didn't,
have that. Yeah, they didn't get that.
I think the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, like my understanding is like, but Eric
just
Eric kind of pulled. I don't know. Eric kind of pulled them out of their life into the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and
okay. Yeah,
I don't know if they were as committed to the cause. I get what you're saying. If
obviously not, they became Avengers, but I don't know. It's hard. I'm just saying it's hard to listen to you guys be like, "Yeah, Wanda's the victim," and I'm like, "No, she's a piece of shit." But also, Eric's a piece of shit. I'm like, well, he's also a victim.
Yeah, well, I don't
how far do you go back?
I don't mean to absolve her of all blame. I just meant
good. You shouldn't. She's
I just meant compared to how we've talked about her in the past on the podcast.
Oh yeah. No, I'm still on that page.
She comes off as much more empathetic in this.
I agree.
But and then the end of this. So the end of this.
Also, we have Hawkeye being a psycho and shooting arrows at everybody.
So Hawkeye, who disappeared a few issues ago, suddenly
she murdered him. He's mad about it.
Suddenly, Hawkeye shoots her in the back. It doesn't matter because she just dissolves the arrow because she can control reality.
She also just obliterates him again.
Yeah,
and I like that. I do like that though, because like in terms of characters coming back to life in comic books, I really love this that they brought him back, but they were like, but is he back still? We don't know, and they kind of like did it again. I thought that was a fun beat, but anyway.
Except that then he is back.
Point you were making.
Except that
he is. No, I know, but like
but at this point
they did it in a fun way.
Yeah. You still don't know because this is the second to last issue, so you're not like, oh, was he all made of her memories, or is it like actually him? So
you were kind of left with this like, is he? When everyone comes back in the next issue, you're like, is Hawkeye there? I don't know. Maybe.
Right. And so, but all of this comes to a head at the end. Again, like we mentioned, the blow up with Magneto and Pietro and Wanda and Hawkeye shooting her and Strange and all of that comes to a head with Wanda just saying, you know what? Here's the real solution. No more mutants. And scene.
Also, before that, though, they kind of stole this for fucking madness, multiverse of madness. The what mouth part. Magneto's yelling at Wanda, and the next panel, she just takes his mouth away.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of multiverse of madness Wanda in this.
Well, there's a lot of MCU. I mean, the next issue especially is very kind of like MCU post Thanos Blink sort of.
I kind of feel like
true, but they also pulled. I mean, I'm just in terms of Wanda, they pulled from this a lot. I think.
Yes, right, but I mean, but this whole arc, there's a lot that the MCU pulled from. But that's at the end of issue 7 is just her saying no more mutants, and then like another blink, and then Peter wakes up next to Mary Jane, and that's issue 8.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of, I don't know. I know we're retroactively revising our opinion on Wanda, but when she does this, she's very focused on her dad and hurting. She wants to hurt her dad, and it's like her brother was just murdered, and she's what is going to hurt my dad the most, and doesn't like in that moment does not think about the consequences of what she's doing.
I think it's. I would add another. I agree. I would add another layer onto that, and it's fine. I'll put everything back, but I still want another world with no conflict. So what does that look like to her? The opposite of what they're in now, which is no mutants. So if there's no mutants, then there won't be a human to mutant conflict again.
Right? Yeah.
You know, it's not like an evil thing that she's doing per se. To them, it all is, but like. And to anybody that has mutant powers, you're like, what the fuck? I can't make my nails long anymore, you know, or whatever. But like in her brain, she's not saying, fuck all of you. She's just saying, can we just have some peace, you motherfuckers? You're like, that's what I was trying to do here. You know, I do get that beat. I do still hate every time I read those words, though. Because I'm still on the mutant side and I'm going, you son of a bitch! You know, but at the same time, I can go, all right, I see what you're doing.
Well, to Joe's point, Patrick, I think you can read it both ways. Like one way is right. She's mad at her dad, and what does her dad love? Mutants, so just get rid of them. Another way to look at it, though, is just this exasperation with like, I've tried remaking X.
I tried this way. How about this way?
And nothing ever works. Yeah. How about we just don't have mutants? Like, fuck it. Let's just not have mutants.
Including herself, you know, kind of thing.
So, but I don't, or it could be both.
By the way, she still has powers.
So it could be either or both reads, but I think, it's... Anyway, the result is there's no more mutants, except for the people inside of Emma's bubble.
Conveniently. And then, like, random mutants. Well, come on. Like, I don't know. Like, Molly Hayes from Runaways didn't lose her powers or whatever, but... It was like 287. Is that what the number was?
I don't remember what the number was, but it was just enough for them to keep the books going in comic books.
I feel like it was like
whatever Marvel needed to keep the books going the next month was like, all right, let's save like the core people, of course, but everyone else.
I feel like there was like a mini series called like the 287, and it was like kind of just following up with the mutants.
There was a series called that, but I don't think it was 287.
Well, then why
also though Wanda
also
did
Peter is fucking traumatized from this. Like if his life wasn't fucked up enough already, like I
did enjoy that they spent time on that in the 8th issue.
So traumatized from this.
In the 7th issue, he's back to like his quippy, like jokey things during the fight.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, no, he moved on real fast, but he's
he stuck it up and did what he was supposed to do, like Wolverine.
Right.
Yeah. Patrick, so it was the 198.
Oh, 198.
Wow, 198.
198 mutants.
So, do mutants start popping up like via natural birth after this? Like quickly? I don't remember how fast. Or
there was also.
Is it because mutants still kind of existed and it didn't quite work like the way she wanted it to?
Well, there was also
Avengers.
They took mutant powers and put it into a giant space thing that they then have to deal with.
Dumbest fucking payoff of all fucking time. Holy shit.
It was a space entity blob.
I forgot that they set that up in this.
Yeah.
Oh,
run.
Yeah.
Like,
That's horrible.
it had the worst payoff of all because they retconned the payoff. Like they retconned that entire storyline. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Let's not
but the end of issue
we're not going to
8
talk about that here. Yeah.
Yeah, but the end of issue 8 is the space mutant powerness.
Yeah,
being everyone's trauma from this event, I think, is awesome. I like Emma waking up in the grass and she's like, "Oh my god!" and freaks out and runs in. Is like horrifying.
Wolverine just saying like, "I remember everything," and just staring straight.
Yeah,
you know they all.
Yeah, the fact
then,
Emma
like,
gets so overwhelmed that she just like literally has to shut all the students' brains off because she's like, I need to fucking think. And when they go in,
she runs in the door, and Kitty's like, Emma, the students, and she's like, oh my god, you know, like kind of, and she's like, no more mutants. She said no more mutants, you know, like kind of thing. It's like, it's fucking crazy.
And then she puts Cerebra on, and there's like, she's like, this is it at full power. There's, you know. There was almost a million of us after Genosha, and now we're down to less.
Yep. In Australia, a lot of them in Australia.
Yeah,
and there's 5 dots.
Yeah.
5 dots.
But the map is focused on Australia. I just mean the writers want us to focus on Australia. Is all I'm saying.
Dude, you guys want to talk about X-Men Outback?
Yeah,
I kind of wouldn't mind reading Outback.
That would be great. I would read X-Men Outback.
Oh, that was a cool lineup. Outback? Hey, yay!
That was cool.
Oh, we're talking about my time. All right.
That actually would be.
Bobby has no powers. Iceman's sweating. He's never done that before in his whole life.
Well, he's doing it now. Also, this is
anyway.
Is this straight Iceman, or because he didn't come in saying, "Hi, I'm Iceman and I'm gay"?
So yeah, that is hard to tell.
Iceman.
He's still straight here. Yeah.
Yeah, still straight here. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is pretty all that other stuff. Well, I mean, he's not straight. He's just pretending.
Also, like, why are his pants
in the closet?
Yeah, he's in the closet. He's gay Iceman. He's just in the closet.
Why does he have like Hulk pants on, as if he hulks out when he turns an Iceman?
You know,
that was something I didn't have an answer for. Yeah,
they're just baggy cargo shorts,
cargo pants
from that era.
It'd be funny.
Scrappy straps.
This is indicative of Carol wearing the flared jeans in the beginning of this.
It'd be great if he stumbles in with torn purple pants. You know, just like
he's like, I don't have my ice powers. And we're like, we're really more concerned about what you're wearing.
Yeah. Like, why are you dressed like Hulk? Yeah.
So what? Is that
I don't know what else to talk about
Bobby.
this.
The one thing I want to talk about.
Gone. Yeah, go
ahead. The Avengers are listening to the news about the mutants, and then William Stryker comes on. You know, the super religious anti-mutant man, and Captain America goes, turn up the volume.
Yeah, he does. Well, doesn't he later say, no, turn it off? Like, never mind.
He says, Tony, turn the volume up on this one. And then he hears Stryker talking. He goes, never mind, turn this idiot off.
Yeah, but it's still like, you didn't know who this guy was. Like, you're the worst ally ever.
I think
why did you want to turn the volume up on this? Why did you want to turn the volume up on this one? And then he's like, oh, my bad, you guys. Turn it
You
down.
want us to turn the volume up on Fox News, Cap? Like, we got it. Yeah. We know what they're going to say.
Yeah, the equivalent is
they're having a field day with it.
Yeah, the equivalent is he's just like, oh, InfoWars TV, turn that up. And then, oh, never mind. You know, and it's like, whoa, Cap.
I like how
read the room. He's like, you guys don't listen to this show too? Oh, you can turn it down if you want.
He's like, Cap's like, all I remember is being an old man. Okay, I thought that's what I like to hear. Tony's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't remember any of this. What are you guys even talking about?
I just love how the
Doctor Strange
is always in the background, just like, you know, like, oh, you guys are. You guys are scared of her because she can kill you if they. I'm just not going to say anything for this 8-issue run.
Well, what's strange is I think I'm used to like in the MCU, Doctor Strange does things,
does stuff, yeah.
And I think I'm used to that, whereas this Doctor Strange does nothing. He's just kind of.
He's more.
They only use Doctor Strange in the comic unless it's his actual comic. I mean, even in the event, like they only use him when they're like, let's form the Illuminati. Let's have a magic guy on the team. Like they just use him when they need a magic guy. Like that's.
I also,
you know,
we talked about this in Disassembled, but every line he has, I read it in the voice of the Doctor Strange character from Venture Brothers. Every line he has, I just go, Wanda, you look well. You know, just like talking in that weird, like
Dr.
mystical
Venture!
voice. Dr. Venture! Yeah, just talking like that, you know.
That's fantastic, by the way. You should keep that in your mind for all times. In fact, Benedict Cumberbatch should change it.
It should have done that.
Change it for
Yeah,
the
that
MCU.
should have been Doctor Strange's voice.
Mhm.
I'm a master of the mystic arts.
You fucked it up, Cumberdick. All right.
And then the end of it is Wanda in a Red Riding Hood outfit in Eastern Europe somewhere shopping in a
That's
market.
totally normal, guys. That's totally normal.
That's
We
okay.
do get confirmation that Hawkeye's still alive and that Magneto doesn't have his powers anymore.
He does not. He lost it because he wasn't in Emma's thought bubble protection.
No.
I do like that Wolverine jumps on him. He's like, I'm going to cut your throat out. And then I'm like, again, why? I mean, again, aside from being a bad father, like, what? This wasn't him.
Well, he's
I
been their
mean,
villain for 50 years.
I was about to say
know?
Magneto did rip the adamantium off.
That's
of him,
true.
but-
Yeah. And good on Wolverine for being like, fine, I'll leave you alive. This is worse than you being dead.
Yeah, it is
You
true.
know,
Like
maybe-
that is
maybe you
kind of a
should've killed
fun
him.
punishment. Yeah.
Yeah. You're human now. Fuck off.
Okay.
What's with the zoom out into the earth and the thing shooting out into space? That's the mutant powers all like hanging out in space. Is that what you guys were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out
You know what?
I have
it
no
does?
recollection of this.
Wanda took
that's
all of the
Zorn.
mutant energy
Oh, is that
and
Zorn?
put it up into the.
That's Zorn. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Because in New Avengers, the energy comes back down and it infects this guy and he keeps killing people. But then it goes into Magneto, and Magneto's like, I recognize this. And he
I
screams,
remember that.
Zorn!
Oh,
And it's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What's going on? And then Marvel was like, we don't know.
We don't know how to write this.
Let's forget that happened. And then Zorn's actually the people we said it was before we said it was actually Magneto. And there's also
Oh yeah, Zorn got real complicated. I do remember that. That got all fucked up. They fucked that up really bad.
So stupid. Yeah. What a dumb fucking ending this was. I thought there was going to be some crazy thing that was going to happen, and it was a 3-issue New Avengers arc storyline, but this spun off into.
Oh man.
Yeah. But they had to. The important thing is they had to retcon Grant Morrison's Zorn character into something else. Was the important
Al,
thing.
do you have feedback in your ear?
I think let me change the levels here, but I'm hearing this kind of buzzing, this kind of does this pass the Bechdel test? The Bechdel test. The Bechdel test. Does this pass the Bechdel test?
The
answer's probably no. This one does though. This passes.
It does.
Layla
I mean, it does.
Emma,
Yeah, there's
Well,
no, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna talk about when Lorna's talking to her mom, but it's weird because she keeps calling him daddy though.
Yeah. Well, I was going to make that joke about Doctor Strange and Wanda have a long conversation, so that counts for the Bechdel test.
Oh, we nailed it. We two jokes.
Yeah.
All right. What are the real reasons?
No, but yeah, Emma and Layla have a brain talk, right? So that passes.
Yeah, they have a brain talk. Yeah.
I think maybe that's it.
I mean, that might be it. But that's as solid as it gets. I mean, like in terms of passing the test, like you can't have a more private conversation than in someone else's head.
Yeah. And like we mentioned, you know, the the Stephen Strange Wanda conversation counts.
Yeah, that counts. I would posit that Eric.
I mean, look at the robes Strange wears. I mean, she is as glamorous a mystical queen as can be. So clearly, that was so it does pass. It does pass.
Barely.
Barely, but it passes. In 8 issues, there's one conversation. But yeah, it passes.
I mean, it's a big ensemble book. It's hard. It's tough in these books.
All right. Well, shall we wrap it up? I don't know what else to say.
It's a pass-fail time, but we don't call it that. Recommendations.
We called it that for like 5 episodes, then we went back to recommendations.
I'll go to All right, I'll start first because it's going to be quick. I do not recommend this. I thought the pacing was not very good. It was a lot of fluff. Like I mentioned, issue 7 was amazing. The character beats, the family dynamics in the House of Magnus were done very well. But I don't recommend reading this whole series for just that one good moment. The rest of these issues just Wikipedia, nothing really happens. It just feels this whole crossover just feels like it promised a lot more than it actually delivered. But having said that, again, I thought there were good character beats, especially for Wanda, and it did really kind of like what's I don't know what I
Contextualize?
can't speak. I don't know what the right word is, but it kind of like rebuilt her image of me for a little bit into a more empathetic stance, compared to how I
Less of a
usually
piece
feel
of
about
human
her.
garbage.
Yeah. But still, I don't really recommend it. As I wouldn't say pick up this trade and read all 8 issues. No thanks.
Okay. I would say recommend this and read all of it and read more because it's more fun to read about everything else that's going on. The art's spectacular. I loved every page. There's something about Coipel who sells the emotional beats that I really enjoyed. I said that earlier, but that the art matters. Like if you're telling an emotional story and you're not getting the emotion across in the people's faces, then you're not meeting the goal. But it's a fun story. It's a weird outtake of like what would happen if the world that the mutants are living in was completely different. And it's kind of fun to read Iron Man House of M or Fantastic Four House of M where they're not the stars of the show. And it's like they're just living in this world with mutants. But yeah, unless you're wanting to really dive into all of the side books, it is rather empty, as I was saying. But still worth it. I like it.
All right. Well, I'm thinking more on the Al's page. I don't think I would recommend this storyline in particular. I will say I did really enjoy Bendis's full run on New Avengers through Dark Avengers and Dark Reign. I think like that whole time period overall as a whole, I think removing Secret Invasion was terrible. This isn't bad. Like it's a quick read. Like Joe said, the art's amazing. There's some good character beats. It's a staple of Marvel history. So like if you're interested in this time period of comics, but like I wouldn't recommend this specific. Be like, you gotta read House of M. It's fucking awesome. I do enjoy this time period. It's very nostalgia for me. Like I said, that this whole I guess he was doing fucking Avengers for 5 years. What? I don't know. Because like after Secret Invasion goes into Dark Reign and Dark Avengers, and it's all very good. And this is a big piece of that. But I wouldn't just recommend this storyline just for itself, for what it is.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, I think we've done it, boys. I think we won comics for the week.
Won comics. We did it. Oh, good journey. Good journey.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to say. Good journey.
You're supposed to have a good journey.
Goodbye.